First of all, COVID has dominated everything. How are you? How is the rest of the squad? And how do you propose to keep in touch with what's happening on the day of the game?
Well, first of all, I feel much better today. I had a couple of rough days, but obviously I have experienced this before, so not bad at all. And the rest of the squad is in a good place. We tested the players. We don't have any other news than the one we had before, and try to communicate with them as much as possible, and obviously relying in the rest of the team and coaches that we have, that I believe in them 100%.
In terms of Manchester City, obviously since your time there, they've lost the likes of Silva and Aguero, but other players have developed. New ones have come in like Grealish. Are they a better team than when you left?
Well, they are different teams. Obviously, the fact that they've been 6 years together, obviously they are getting the perfection in every phase of the play, in every aspect of the game, much better. Obviously, the cohesion of the team and the synergy between them, because of the amount of time they have spent together, gets better and better. And the numbers speak by themselves. What they've done in the last calendar year is remarkable.
6 of the Arsenal players that played at Norwich also featured in the game against Manchester City earlier in the season when you were well beaten. How much have they come on, and how much of a learning curve was the experience that day?
Well, I hope to experience a very different game. We started that game really positively, but in the first action we conceded a goal. They went down to 10 men, and obviously it's difficult enough to play 11 against 11. So when it goes 10 against 11 for such a long time in the game, becomes a real challenge. And we suffer, but sometimes those defeats help you to become a better team and stick together and understand where the level is and the mistakes that you cannot make against this type of opposition.
Do you feel that you're playing them this weekend as genuine equals, given the form that you're showing at the moment?
We are preparing the game like any other game, and we know the opposition that we're going to be facing. There's no need to talk about that because it's so obvious, and focus on what we have to do to try to win the game, compete in every moment of the game, and have the belief, which is the most important thing, right from the beginning, that we can go and win the game.
Thanks very much.
Good afternoon, Mikel. Glad to hear you're on the mend. Can you just clarify for us who will be on the bench tomorrow and who is, in inverted commas, in charge tomorrow?
Well, Albert will be in charge with the rest of the team, and depending who of the coaches are available, because we had so many issues in that department recently, everybody will be there trying to help as much as possible.
So at this stage, you still don't know which coaches might actually be on the bench tomorrow?
No.
And will you be in sort of video communication with them, with walkie-talkies or an earpiece or things like that?
We will be in touch, but as well, I want to give them the possibility, the responsibility and the freedom to make decisions on the pitch, to express themselves, because it's completely different to being on that touchline close to the players and the action than being at home. So I'm going to be here to support and help in certain moments, but they have to get the momentum of the game and communication with the players themselves.
Are you somebody who's happy relinquishing control, or are you a bit of a control freak? Do you like to be in charge?
Well, I never experienced what I'm going to experience in tomorrow, but it's what it is. It's not going to be easy. To feel frustrated and with lack of options, because obviously not being in training sessions, not being able to prepare things like you want, to pass the message that you want, to have the players feeling that you are next to them. It's a different experience, but we have to adapt to it, and we have tried to do that the best possible way to get well prepared for tomorrow.
As Damien was alluding to there, you've come a long way since the last time you played Manchester City, and a lot of praise for the side over the last few weeks. There has been a criticism of Arsenal in the past when you play the likes of Liverpool or Manchester City, these teams that can hurt you offensively, that you play into their hands. You don't adapt your style of play to combat them. Are you just going to play your own style of football tomorrow, or are you going to try to stop City?
Well, we have played in different ways against the two teams that you just mentioned. We play with different formation. We play with back threes, back fives, back fours, with two strikers in different ways. And we had found some results against them. And recently, especially against City, the two games that we play at the Etihad, we play with 10 men, which makes the game very, very difficult. But everything that we're going to prepare is to try to win and give the team the best possible chance to compete that game, because that's the closer you are to win it.
Happy New Year, Mikel. Hope you're feeling better.
Happy New Year.
You've had this before, but of course, last time you got it, all of football was closed down. Now, of course, we're carrying on. Are you a good watcher remotely? I mean, are you going to be pacing around the room? I mean, are the kids going to be banished to, obviously they're banished to another room anyway, but I mean, in general, how are you going to cope with not being at a football match tomorrow?
Very strange. I think I would need a big room so I can walk and move a little bit, because I won't be able to stand in my sofa. It's a big game for us, and it's a really frustrating thing not to be able to be there helping the team. But I will do my best from here with everything that I can do, and we have prepared for every scenario possible, and they know what we have to do, and then it will be down to the players to execute as much as possible what we have to do tomorrow.
And what will be happening at half-time? Will you be doing a team talk remotely on Zoom, or are you leaving it all up to him? And if you say, oh, I want to bring someone on or I want to bring someone off, will you text that to him and make that decision, or totally in his call?
Hopefully things go well and I don't have to do too much, and they can do it. But yeah, the situation have been discussed, and obviously we will have some communication.
And just the last one from me. Have you seen the calendar table? You're on 76 points for the year, so very impressive, and that will put you in the top 4, which must give you a lot of confidence going forward for the next few months.
Well, it's I think it's a really important thing, because that shows the consistency that we had in terms of results that are obviously led by performances, but unfortunately it doesn't give us anything, and we have to do it not in the calendar year but in the Premier League year, and that's the challenge that we have ahead of us, and we have shown that we are capable of doing it, so that's where we're heading.
Okay, just a final question then, a bit of a joke one. Do you have any New Year resolutions?
No, I just want to finish I start the season, the year, sorry, like we ended, that tomorrow everybody is healthy, that we perform and get the points that we want, and for the rest of the people, I think what we're all aiming for, which is health, and somehow get rid of this virus for the rest of our lives.